Good morning, everybody. It is Snapshot Day, my dudes. Wait, what's that? You mean to say that I can't just speak it into existence? You mean to say I'm slowly losing my mind from lack of Minecraft snapshots? It's been so long? Yeah. But hints aside, that doesn't mean we can't get a little sneak peek at the next snapshot and new update. So today I was kind of sad because you see, this time last year, this week, Minecraft Snapshot 23W51A dropped, and inside of that snapshot, I thought it was a genius thing of the devs to do, leave us with a parting holiday gift and get the community talking. The armadillo popped up in a snapshot, and we didn't know it at the time, but that would end up being the first snapshot for the armored paws drop. This year, I guess the devs are going with a slightly different roadmap. But there is hope, because thanks to the official Minecraft bug tracker, we can already see there are over 50 changes for the next Minecraft snapshot. Over the course of today's video, we'll take a look at some of the greatest. Ah, yes, the elytra. Combined with this beautiful brand new cape, it looks better than ever. But looks aside, functionality-wise, the elytra has a couple of problems. Check out what happens to this thing as soon as I hit the water. Well, when I hit the water, even though I'm definitely not elytraing anymore, I'm fully under the water, well, I still definitely can elytra. If I slam right into the water, go under here, I slow down quite a bit, but if I use a rocket, all of a sudden, I'm boosted up again, and my flying basically continues. Another strange thing that happens with the elytra happens when I fly into something. I don't know if you caught it right there, I'll loop it back, but when I fly into something, I still stay flying, even though I definitely hit a wall. From the looks of things, early next year, the elytra will be receiving a nice little facelift. Now, look, it's a little too early in the video to go all tinfoil hat mode, but tinfoil hat mode, I wonder if this relates to the minecart and the transportation overhauls that they were working on. I mean, after all here, it has been quite some time since the developers have touched anything, a minecart. It's been quite some time since the devs have touched anything, minecart update related. Now, little disclaimer, today keep in mind that none of these changes have officially made it into a public release of Minecraft, and because of this, how the end result might end up looking, well, we don't really know. Also, there are many instances of bugs being reported as fixed on the bug tracker, only to end up as not really fixed. On the other hand, though, some of these bugs, which are a little bit cheaty when it comes to survival mechanics, because they are going to persist in the game, presumably until, like, at least a couple of weeks into January, you can take advantage of them. For example, sneaking. Check this out. If I'm sneaking and I'm walking in a line, like pressing one key, I sneak kind of slow. If I'm sneaking and I press a different key, I sneak the same speed, kind of slow. However, if I press two keys at the same time, do you notice that speed increase right there? Like, it's kind of hard to notice, but I definitely start sneaking a little bit faster. This is all thanks to a flawed math equation that is being equated here. So when I walk and I press one key, I walk at a certain speed. When I press another key, it doesn't matter that I'm now pressing two keys, I walk at that certain speed. The same thing all translates over to sneaking as well. When I sneak with one key, I sneak at a certain speed. Theoretically, if I pressed a second key to sneak in a different direction, I shouldn't speed up, but I definitely do. So that means for now, if you want to sneak a little bit quicker, press two keys at once. Now, inside of the bug tracker here, where we can take a look at some bugs that the devs are currently working on, it's a super cool thing. We'll be able to find a lot of bugs that are being patched and polished over that I suppose are a little bit more, say, trivial, that'll be included in this next update. Fall damage. It's a pretty interesting thing in Minecraft. Just like with that whole sneaking thing, there's a little bit of a math equation that goes on behind the scenes to calculate just how much fall damage one should be taking when falling off of a certain number of blocks. So right here, I've got 4 scaffolding. If I go ahead and add 5, 6, 7, theoretically, I should be able to climb up this thing, take a fall from 7 blocks, and take a precisely 2 damage. And just like that, it worked. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I were to climb all the way up to the top of this scaffolding tower that is 12 blocks tall, subtract one of them, so now it's 11 blocks tall, and then jump off of this thing, 4 damage is how much damage I should take. That's perfect. Now, if I go ahead and increase that by 1 block back up to the number of 12 and jump off of this thing, well, one would assume that the fall damage, the damage taken, should be 4.5 because I fell a little bit farther. However, it is still 4. It's a small rounding error that has persisted in the game since Minecraft 1.15, but essentially if a player or a mob falls 11 or 12 blocks, they take the same amount of damage, which is slightly incorrect. Strangely enough, the damage calculator self-corrects itself beginning at 13 blocks and so on. So that means right now, fall all you want, have fun jumping 11 or 12 blocks because the damage amount, I mean, it just doesn't matter. Flying machines, they're interesting. Did you know that right now inside of Minecraft, you could actually build yourself a very, very simple flying machine? Now, I want to be clear here that this flying machine isn't, say, necessarily the most useful flying machine, but it's definitely a flying machine. We're going to go ahead and kick this build off by setting up a small little, say, like part of the build on the ground. At the bottom of this thing, some soul sand blocks to create bubble columns. Next up here, above the water, all we need to do is place a little bit of string. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and stack this string up a little bit higher, too. Now, in survival Minecraft, it's time for a boat. If I go ahead and sail this boat over the string in the bubble column right here, well, I could actually use the bubble column to sort of start flying into the air. And right here, if I line myself up just right, I could actually use this machine to fly up to 7 blocks all the way up into the air. This functionality that is happening right here is definitely not normal at all. The string is basically sending the boat like flying. It's kind of crazy. This sneaky little flying boat glitch has been in the game since Minecraft 1.21, and though it might not be the most useful thing in the world, it's still quite odd that you can fly with boats. On the other hand, in the other direction, let's say I had some magma blocks in the water. Then let's say on the surface of the water, like directly above the magma blocks right here, I had some string sitting. If I had a boat that moved into that string right there, well, instead of sinking slowly to the bottom because of the magma column, well, the string makes the boat sink immediately all the way down to the bottom. This is actually a really clever trap that you could make. Like imagining myself inside of the local realm right here. I have water, I'm sailing, there's string on the water, and then I sail into it, and immediately I'm rocketed all the way down to the bottom. I mean, it's kind of devious. This little sinking trick will work at any height as well, but not for much longer. Honestly, I feel like that bug should totally stay in the game and just become a feature because I think it's kind of cool. Next up, before we take a look at the honker, double check and make sure you're subscribed. I know it's like typical YouTuber thing, but I did just check the stats and most of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. That's a big no-no. This next year is going to be absolutely massive for Minecraft updates, but also I've been cooking up a lot of really cool videos that you're going to want to see, and I'll be dropping them over the next couple of weeks. Alright, so the big one, the one that makes me a little nervous here, the one you probably saw in the title, Mojang might be breaking the most overpowered farm. Okay, so let's start with the setup for this one. The setup for this one is pretty straightforward, but it's very, very noisy. On Minecraft in Java, let's say I was building myself a zombified piglin farm, and usually this is a farm you'd build way up on the top of the nether, but for now, the small example, this will do. While I'm building said farm, I could set up some kind of fancy entity crammer, usually using, say, minecarts, a bunch of them in one spot, to take out zombified piglin automatically. Setting up something like this is usually pretty simple. All I would need to do if I didn't have that minecart game rule enabled here is push a bunch of minecarts down onto the same block. When I did this, all of the minecarts, they would end up stacking together and be an entity chopper. On the other hand here, I could actually go ahead and circumvent the minecarts altogether. All I need to do is stand up here, have the mobs walk over this way and fall down into that trap. And if I can get more than like 24... Hey, watch it, buddy. Stop it. You're cheating. If I can get more than, say, 23 mobs into this one single block down there, then all of the mobs will start taking each other out due to entity cramming. It's a beautiful mechanic. Also, due to entity cramming and just zombified piglin, how it all works, when these mobs all cram themselves out of existence, well, the game thinks, because they're all angry at me, that I am doing the work there. This leads to a ton of extra experience dropping automatically and a ton of mob drops dropping as if I was taking the mobs out myself. This mechanic right here makes a zombified piglin farm by far one of the most overpowered farms in all of Minecraft Java Edition. I mean, the amount of experience that these things drop is already insane. The fact that you can stand here and do nothing and just get the experience, even more insane. Well, here it is. Read it and weep. Zombified piglins drop experience in rare drops if killed by anything while in angered states. This anything includes things like entity cramming. This is a bug that has been in the game since 2014, and well, I fear will no longer be in the game for very much longer. Now, this change right here is a change that I think is going to potentially ignite the farming community up on a fire big time, especially if the added context around this change is bad too. So, no pun intended at all, because I don't really want to start a fire, but relatively recently, you might have heard about it, I made a video on it. Mojang did a Q&A, and mob spawning came up. Now, I'll go ahead and link this Q&A down in the description below, just in case you're curious, you want to do a little bit more extra reading, but somewhere inside of this Q&A, specifically like right here, spawn spots and custom structures, the devs revealed that they're actually working on improving mob spawning for Minecraft Bedrock Edition by basically porting over the Java system. According to the devs in mid-November, this will be going into experimental sometime soon. Also, according to the developers in this Q&A, they will be simplifying the mob spawning system as well. What this actually means, I'm not too sure. I don't know if these spawn rules being simplified is just a Bedrock thing, or if this means changing how it works on Java as well. Again, not trying to light a fire here, so we just have to hold tight for a couple of weeks and see what the devs end up doing, but I almost feel like there's a big area inside of the Nether where mob spawning works on Java, but doesn't on Bedrock Edition. Either way, enjoy your gold farm over this break, because it seems like it'll be changing pretty soon. Mob pathfinding and water inside of your world. Sometimes, when certain mobs fall into water, their pathfinding, it kind of breaks. For example, the creaking right here. While I'm inside of the water, I mean, right now, I think its pathfinding is kind of working. Might also be because it didn't technically fall into the water, I just kind of dropped it into the water. But either way, the pathfinding of many mobs, villagers, zombies, creaking, it breaks. Since the second part of the Caves and Cliffs update, mob pathfinding when it comes to water has kind of been a little bit broken. In this setup right here, you can see exactly how you could recreate this mob accidentally falling scenario. We have a couple of trapdoors and then mobs. You see, mobs see trapdoors as always closed, so it's kind of nice for their pathfinding. It's used in many farms. Standing up here, I have a creaking. If I go ahead and look away, it'll think it'll be able to creak over to me right over the trapdoors, but it ends up falling, and then goodbye pathfinding. It will have no longer, or at least sometimes, it won't know what to do. With the added context of the mob spawning update coming soon from the Bedrock devs and the zombified piglin stuff, I wonder if we're in for a gigantic mob update sometime soon. Thorns, the most disgusting Minecraft enchantment. So the thorns enchantment has actually been kind of busted for a long time, and the sound tied to the thorn enchantment specifically. We're talking the sound tied to the thorns enchantment specifically. Check this out. Hostile mob right here. Go ahead and deal me damage, and do you not hear what's happening? So it's taking damage, but there's like a little high-pitched thorn sound effect that's meant to like play when a mob takes damage from thorns, and yeah, it just doesn't play at all. A side note, I really wish thorns didn't deal so much damage to your armor. It could be pretty fire. Now, this whole thorns business, it actually would carry out over inside of the ocean monument as well. Except this time, instead of me being the thorny one, it's the guardian right here. When I hit the guardian and I take the occasional thorns damage when it's like spikes are out, well, that thorny sound that's meant to play when I take damage, it doesn't always play. Here's to a potential thorns update in 2025. And last but not least, the broken seeds in the end. So in this video right here, we took a look at one of the most glitched seeds that I have ever found. It's really cool. Check out the video next. So in this world that I've been recording today's video in, I haven't been to the end quite yet. And to be honest, the odds of something insanely broken happening are so low. Like, this almost never happens. But occasionally, one could generate the end and have a completely broken seed, with the end portal sometimes generating, say, all the way up high in the sky or on top of a pillar. Nestled nicely amongst the multiple different end fixes that are coming to the game in this next Minecraft snapshot, a sad one that's been in the game since 2015. The exit portal in the end generates the highest block at 0, which can make it generate incomplete. So right here, for this one, basically, we're going to need to have one of those really weird ends generate where, like, the portal is basically completely missing, and yeah, the Minecraft developers have gone ahead and said, no, the really cool glitch seed, it shouldn't be a thing. Instead, it should all be perfect. It's like, I get it, you want players to be able to have the true experience, but it's also such a rare thing that I think it makes those glitch seeds kind of be valuable. I hope this is one of the ones where they're maybe not fully set in stone, because those glitch seeds are just so cool. And so, I could do this all day, but I won't. Those are some of the highlights, greatest hits of the next Minecraft update coming sometime next year. Tap that like button and subscribe if you haven't quite yet. Happy holidays. It's been me, Waddles, final stream of the year, the pre-birthday stream will happen this Friday. Stay tuned for it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.